Hello guys, and welcome back to Tech IoT and whatnot. And in today's example we will look into how to record the entire screen in Python using the OpenCV package. Now, as you all know, that the OpenCV package is actually mostly used for image and video processing, and the concept of video is basically stacking an array of images over a period of time, and that's how we actually get a video. So let's look into the functions that we're going to use today to implement this in Python. So as you can see, we will be using the VideoWriter, which we're going to save frames as a video file with certain resolution, frame rate, and encoding options. And here, what we're going to do here is we're going to refer to the example code that is actually given here using the VideoWriter function. And if you scroll down here, you can see there is a Python syntax that actually uses this, and there is also a Python code that is actually available for writing a video in the OpenCV. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this example and modify it in a way where I will actually create three different functions, which is the start recording, recording the frame, and then stop the recording. Now this function I have already written earlier, and I'm just going to put it in a code so that we're going to look into the code one by one. So now I have already have the Visual Studio code, and my file is actually called main.py, and I'm going to get the code here and paste it here. So now what you can see here is I actually have four different packages, which is the OpenCV, PyAutoGUI, NumPy, and time. Now the reason why I use PyAutoGUI is that I can actually use this to get the entire screen's size, which we will actually look into the function later. And I also have NumPy and time. Now what I did is I actually get the VideoWriter, and I'll actually set it as a global variable, which I will be using it continuously in my record frame function and stop recording. So you can see that I actually have the start recording, and in the start recording I require an output path where the video will be saved, what are the FPS, frames per second, and the size of the screen that is actually being recorded. Not only that, I also need to set the format of the video, and here I actually set as XVID, which is the AVI format. And once I got all the parameters, I will actually put it into the VideoWriter using the cv2.VideoWriter function here. Once this function is used, this function, start recording function, is actually used as an initialization of the VideoWriter process, and I will actually go to the next function, which is the record frame. Now this record frame is used in a while loop, and I actually need to get the frame in the form of an array, and to get it I actually use the PyAutoGUI screenshot function, where I actually get the entire values and set it into the form of array. And once I have get the array of the frame, I got the array of the frame, and I will actually then convert it using the cvt.cv.color, where I need to put in the value of the frame, which is in ND array, and also the color, which is in this case is RGB to BGR. Once that is done, I will actually start writing the frame using the VideoWriter.write method. So this will actually continuously write the frames into the video. And lastly, I will actually use the stop recording, where I will actually release the resources of the VideoWriter and set it to none, and destroy the window using the destroy all windows function by setting it all into null values. Once I have these three functions, I will then use it in this case. First, I need to get the desired screen that I want to record. So in this case, I will actually use the PyAutoGUI size, so it will just immediately return the entire screen. And then I will actually start using the start recording, where I put in the output location, what are the FPS, and what are the screen width and height width. So once I actually get this, once I use the first recording, I will actually then put it into a while loop, where I also set a slight delay in this case. This is actually for me to control the frame rate of the Python while the code is executing and slowly writing this. When you actually adjust this value, you will notice that there are some differences in the speed of the video that is actually being recorded. And then lastly, once I press the keyboard interrupt, it will actually stop recording. So now let me just try to start running the code. When I start running the code, you can see that my video will actually appear here in the folder output AVI. And here in the Python test, you can see that the video is actually being recorded. So to test how fast this actually works, let me just put in the seconds here. So we can see this is the seconds that is actually being incremented slowly. And once I tested this, so let's pause this, and let's press a Control C here to stop the recording. Now the recording has been stopped. Let me just test this by play with VLC media. So as you can see, the time is actually almost as close as 1 second. Slowly is actually being elapsed here. So this is an example of how we can actually use the VideoWriter function of the OpenCV package and implement a screen recording in Python.